Hello, everyone. My name is Sean. I am the Crypto Smith. I do appreciate you guys clicking on the link to watch this video. Today, we're going to talk about jasmycoin or Jasmy, right? This is hailed as Japanese Bitcoin or Japan's Bitcoin, right? Japan's version of Bitcoin. It's been said all different ways. I'm going to go into kind of a high-level overview of what Jasmy is. It's really not complicated. It should be very easy to understand, and it should also be easy to understand why there is such potential with this project. So basically what I'm going to do is just break it down to what it is, the who, whys, and what's, some key partnerships, some FUD that was dropped out there, there's a few confusing items around Jasmy. Hopefully I can clear up a little bit of that at least as to how I see it. And then we're going to look at the price, and I'm going to tell you why I think this has huge potential. So let's jump right into this one. Jasmy is data. Now, when you think of Jasmy, you should just be thinking automatically of data collection, and data selling. Whose data am I talking about? Now, I'm talking about your personal data, my personal data. The problem that Jasmy is working on is the big tech out there is collecting data on you every single day through your IoT devices, your smartphones, your smartwatch, your iPads, your laptops, your just talking on the phone, your text messages, your photos possibly, your search histories. All of these things are laying breadcrumbs of data for big tech companies to collect and then compile and sell to other companies in order for them to market to you, right? That's what they do. They like to collect information. They like to use that information to market products and services to people all across the world. It's huge business. Who are some of the top companies that collect and sell data? Obviously, all the big tech companies: Facebook, Google, PayPal, Oracle, Axiom, all three credit bureaus. Obviously, if you're in the credit world, you have personal credit. A lot of this is in the U.S. Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. And then you've got Spokio, Been Verified, White Pages. There are a ton of other companies that actually collect data on us and then sell that data. So what Jasmy is looking to do is to help you collect your own data and then sell it. So this is one of Jasmy's websites. They've got a couple different websites, and it does get a little confusing, and that does cause some FUD out there, and I'm going to address that in the end. So this is what these three things mean here. IoT, right, the Internet of Things, which is all these devices and connections out there that you have to the Internet and to the rest of the world. Collecting data, and then what's the value of that data, and how are you going to be compensated for that? I'm just going to go through. Here's Jasmy's main website, right? And a lot of it could be in Japanese. Obviously, they're in Japan, and some of the translations leave a little bit to be desired. But I'm just going to go through this a little bit, the what, hows, and whys. So here's the what. Data democratization puts data sovereignty in the hands of consumers, right? That's me and you. The big wave, the fourth industrial revolution, has begun to swallow the world's. All kinds of things, people and services are connected to the internet, right? And those connections create data. Many of the current network services provided by giant companies such as, they call them GAFA, which is Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon, right? Those are the big ones, the big boys out there in the world. And Jasmy's basic philosophy is data democracy, right? Our basic philosophy is to return personal data to the hands of individuals who should have it, and to realize democratization of data in which it's managed in a secure and distributed manner based on the Jasmy IoT platform. So they're building a platform. They have a platform and software that you can install in IoT devices that will collect your own personal data in what they're calling a data locker. And then you can decide how you want that data disseminated. You can decide to sell it in jasmycoin, and then a service provider will use that data and for whatever reason they want to use that data. And Jasmy is also building the B2B, business-to-business model as well, and platform in which those different service provider companies can also exchange data as they see fit. So let's go back to this other website and go up to how it works. And this is going to be a very good model of the ecosystem of Jasmy. So here's the consumer, right? Here's you. Here's your personal data locker, right? All that data that you're submitting out, right, that you're creating by you interacting with the internet and with other people across the world and other companies, all of that stuff gets locked up in your personal data locker. You decide how this data gets distributed. A merchant wants to pay for your data, so they pay in Jasmy coin to the user, or they pay in Jasmy coin to the consumer. The consumer receives Jasmy coin, and then obviously you use Jasmy coin as you see fit. And the secure knowledge communicator that you see here is the blockchain that holds and receives all of this data, right? This data going back and forth to the personal data lockers, to the merchants, and then the consumer receiving Jasmy coin. So that's really everything in a nutshell. Jasmy is data. It's really not hard to understand. There's obviously some other aspects to it, but that is essentially what Jasmy coin is trying to do. These are the problems that they're trying to solve. Big data has a grip, has a lock on the data that is bought and sold out there, and really all of us have no choice but to allow it to happen. If you want to interact with Facebook and Amazon, essentially you have to let them use your data. They don't really ask, they just do it, right? They just take your data and they sell it, and you get absolutely nothing out of it, other than a lot of annoying ads, of course. Here is Jasmy's white paper. Now, this white paper, it essentially says exactly what I said, all of the data components, how it works, the problems they're trying to solve, and then it goes into Jasmy token, which doesn't really say a lot about the Jasmy token, and it's on 5.5. Let's go down here and just take a look at it. Jasmy coin, custom token created on the Ethereum platform. It is based on the ERC20 standard, therefore it enjoys security and processing power of ETH network. The token can also be used as an unspecified number of individuals and businesses to transfer tokens using digital devices, such as smartphones or laptops, as proof of value exchange or payment for service, not limiting its usability. The token can have a wide range of purposes. So just saying the Jasmy coin, the Jasmy token, can be used as an instrument of value. Now, if you go back up to the main website, we're going to see here the 2023 Sega Tosu fan token is finally open. Now, what are they doing here? What does this mean? If you're not in Japan, you've probably never heard of Sega Tosu. Sega Tosu is a local football club or soccer club if you're a dumb American. And this is Jasmy's way of supporting local sports teams. So they've got this a fan token, which could be NFTs, which could be sports memorabilia. That is becoming a large industry as well. We're not really going to go into that because that's not what this video is about. But this is just showing you that Jasmy is out there in their community and doing good things, and just another use case or possible utility for Jasmy coin. Now you can go here to the menu, go to notice, which is basically news events, all regarding Jasmy, and there's a ton of them out there. If you want to know more about it, you can go through here. There are a bunch of articles written. Some of them are news articles. Some of them are just memos. And I just highlighted one here that shows that they have actually a partnership with Avita. Now, Avita, of course, makes computers. What comes on these computers that is already pre-installed? The Jasmy software, right? That data locker that they want to get used out there in mass to help people control their own data. So that is it in Jasmy. That's really what Jasmy is about. When you think of Jasmy, you think of data, collecting your own data, and then being able to sell that data to providers, to merchants out there. So let's get into who actually runs Jasmy. So let's go back to the website and then get company profile. Let's take a look at the company profile, right? There's where it is. That doesn't really matter to us. They're in Japan, of course. So let me explain why they are considered Japan's Bitcoin. Basically, they're the first real cryptocurrency in Japan. And now as I hear it, they're actually regulated there and approved to run. So everything seems to be all good on that front. The management team here, I'm not going to try to pronounce the whole name. Obviously, I'm going to butcher and I don't want to do that. So Mr. Ando here, he's the president and COO, or Chief Operations Officer of Sony Corporation, president and COO of Sony Engineering and Manufacturing of America, chairman and representative director of Sony Financial Holdings, chairman of Sony Life Insurance Company Limited. So he was appointed as representative director of the company in April 2016. April 2016 is when this company basically was founded. They started developing the use case, but it didn't really launch until 2021, right? So it took them 5 years-ish in order to basically develop the entire concept, put networks in place, and then it really launched in the early part of 2021, and we're going to get into that here in a second. So you can see a theme through the management system here. Mr. Sato, Representative Director and President of Sony Style, Executive Officer of Sony Marketing and President of Sony Style Company, President and Representative Director of Sony Style. You kind of see the pattern forming here. Mr. Hara, he's the CFO or Chief Financial Officer. He was at KPMG, which is a worldwide accounting firm. They're very big. Engaged in statutory audits focusing on listed companies in a wide range of industries, including broadcasting, construction, IT, and manufacturing. He, oddly enough, doesn't have any association with Sony that I could find. And we're going to talk about him here in a second. Hara, as he's known here on Twitter, was just recently, at the beginning of this month, the beginning of March, he is apologizing for concerns and rumors of Jasmy basically being under investigation, but that's not the case. The rumors were really about a company called Bellwood Enterprises. Now, here is where the FUD kind of begins and hopefully ends with Jasmy. So, Bellwood Enterprises, the research as I've uncovered, is basically not the founding, but the financial owner of jasmycoin in the very beginning. They're the ones who gave up money in order to start the project. Now, they owned it. They were basically the owners until 2021 when the new team, including Hara, took over, right? So in early 2021, you can see right here, right where after they launched, when they developed everything, and then they launched the actual project. It shot up to almost $5, $4.80, I believe is the all-time high, and then came crashing back down in fantastic style. Now, it looks like if you were back then, you would think this was a classic pump and dump. Somebody's running off with the money. And according to the news that's out there, that's kind of what happened. Bellwood Enterprise, obviously holding a bunch of tokens, they ended up selling a lot on the community, basically just taking that profit and thank you very much, we're out. But they weren't out. They were still part of the company. They were still owners in the company. They just took massive profits, which tanked the price, which caused a lot of FUD. And then it kind of trickled down here until you get around the October timeframe. This is when the new team, which they've been in on the beginning, but they actually took ownership of the project and of the company. So you can see a little price bump here. It looks like a rug pull, honestly. I mean, if you saw this chart for any token out there, you would think, oh, this is a rug pull. It's not. They're still running. They're still building their utility. Obviously, they've got a long way to go. Why did I say 1,000x? Well, they're at half a cent right now, half of a penny. They were almost at $5. So that's nearly a 1,000x leap from here to all-time highs. Is that going to happen? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it's not. It wouldn't be unwise for me to pick up a moon bag of Jasmy just in case it can get back up there. Even if it got only halfway there into the $2 range, you're talking about massive, massive profits. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to invest in anything. Okay, I can barely handle my own money. I'm telling you, take a look at it. Do some research. Do a little more digging than I did and develop your own idea of what you think Jasmy can be in the future and what it holds. Now, because there are multiple websites and because of this kind of confusion with Bellwood Enterprise in the beginning and the dumping of the token and all that, there's been some FUD around it. There's people out there who say the entire project is a scam, but with the amount of information that is out there, I highly doubt that. But I do understand why there is some confusion. So, and also there's confusion around why this dump happened. Some are saying when Jasmy came out, the Japanese government banned cryptocurrency, but that's not the case. That is not what happened. Now, they did have a kind of a minor ban back in 2018. The Japanese FSA, which is their financial security agency, they were starting to ban, they call them private cryptocurrencies, which what they mean is privacy cryptocurrencies, Monero, Dash, REP, which is Augur's representation token, and Zcash, cryptocurrencies like that, they were banning. They were also getting into regulation of crypto exchanges because there were a lot of scams going on. There were exchanges that were going down and taking people's money with it. So they proactively are going out there and trying to get a handle on these things, not crush it, not put it down, but get a handle on it for the consumer. So that was also something that's been very confusing. But there was no ban in 2021. That's not why the price crashed. The price crashed, from what I can tell, because the initial funding partner for jasmycoin dumped their tokens, took profits, and kind of screwed the chart. So that's it for jasmycoin. I don't think I've forgotten much. Obviously, there's a little more to it. You can do a real deep dive on this. If you go over to CTN's channel, they do a great job covering jasmycoin. This is not one of the big ones for me, but it is intriguing enough to drop a couple $100 in a moon bag and see where it goes from here. So hopefully you enjoyed this review of jasmycoin. Go take a look at it for yourself. And with that, I will see you on the next one.